already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
Check.
12, fellas, here we go.
Get that quarterback. And on.
You go ahead.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
13.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
65. Hey, orbit.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Jonathan Bostic coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now it's Peterson. Now a hit and a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now Garoppolo lost the football, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. Look at the big man rumble. 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Here we go.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Hooking up here with Trent Taylor. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down, 49ers. Here we go. Like 20. Check. Two.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
43's the mic. 43's the mic.
Hey, alert.
2nd and 5 now. Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. On first down, it's Coleman. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Here we go.
To throw is Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
CD, you know, there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. First down, Murray. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the Cardinals last year, of course, struggled 3-13, but 2 of their 3 wins came against these 49ers. In fact, the Cardinals have beaten the Niners 8 consecutive times. Last time San Fran beat Arizona was 2014. And remember, these are clubs that meet twice a year. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Mike 7. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Murray now on 1st down. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Quan Alexander in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 10.
To throw on 3rd down, Murray. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Quan Alexander. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here we go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Here we go.
And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. Room here to run. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray completing it to the right side. Johnson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Before this season started, Johnson said this new offensive system would allow him to really be effective in the passing game. He actually likened it to 2016 when he had almost 900 receiving yards. He said one of his goals is to become the 3rd player in league history to hit 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in the same season. They also noted that he's really comfortable in this scheme. It's like his college days at Northern Iowa when he was part of a team that based out of a shotgun with a running quarterback. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again for the 41. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 38-yard line. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 49ers' 39-yard line. Strong right, strong right, strong right. 4 down, check. Watch one.
2nd down, Murray sets to throw. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Murray now to throw. Middle of the field, he's got Butler. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The face mask moves them all the way out past the 40 now for first down.
21.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Garoppolo. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Taylor. 15 yards on the play. First down. Garoppolo, 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Coming up at the half, half. A reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tevin Coleman with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Going for the deep ball. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Now Murray throwing on second down. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. Now the ball comes loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. He's going to let this one go. This is caught inside the 15. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Throwing on second and long. Garoppolo gets this one left side to Pettis. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Niners on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Johnson running right. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. A final shot before half from Murray. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Flushed out right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end, but it's going to be second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. He finds his man Johnson.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith. His tight end, Clay, the intended receiver.
Here we go, here we go. 21. Check 99.
They'll run on first down. Coleman. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that.
Hey, alert!
Watch twins. Check 3.
White.
Check it back.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. And he's going to be stopped up just short of the first down at the Cardinals' 37.
They're trying to show they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Jonathan Bostic able to record his 5th sack of the season. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. On the return is Peterson. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. On second and 11 now. Murray, that's caught left side, seals Jones with it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On third down, Murray. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete. Well, this secondary's done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether there's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
At the 19-yard line.
Here we go. 180! 12, fellas. Here we go.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, second and 15.
Check 15, check 15. 65, 65. 21, 21. Here we go. Get hot!
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
First down, San Francisco.
Here we go, here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go. 180! 2, get hot!
On play action, it's Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's McKinnon. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10.
12.
Coleman now. And an alley to run. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Here we go. 180!
First down, 49ers.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. This is Coleman. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Kyle Juszczyk. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
At the 24-yard line.
Here we go. 180. 21. Here we go.
On 1st down, it's Coleman. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. Now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 46. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Hey. 4 down.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They will run again with Coleman. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And cuts out right sideline. A big play there for the Niners. 43 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. On first down now, run with McKinnon. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Cardinals' 17-yard line.
Here we go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
21.
They'll run it now with Juszczyk. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by any.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 40-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Second down, McKinnon. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. The Niners on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 15.
Hey, it's our house.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So a change of possession here on the punt. The Cardinals will take over at their 20-yard line.
Watch time, watch time. Tight end right, tight end right.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A huge play there for Arizona. 44 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he slings one that's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Throw left side complete. That's Bird. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Watch it slant, watch it slant.
1st down, Murray. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Check, 59. Watch the run, watch the run.
They give to Johnson going right. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Murray. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Charles Clay. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. Gonzalez to add the PAT. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. This will be caught at about the 6. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. So the victory here for San Francisco, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up